Before the weekly analysis begins, I just want to let you know that I do have a Patreon page. We have two tiers available. The first tier is called Start Off for £15 a month, and what you will receive is access to a Discord server containing the beginners, intermediate, and advanced course, risk management course for Elliot Wave trading, as well as financial literacy content. This tier is also for those who want to learn at their own pace and generally just support what I do and just join a community of like-minded traders. The second tier that I have is called the Waveologist for £35 a month, and what you receive is everything that I mentioned above with the addition of specific chart requests for me to annotate on a daily and weekly time frame, and one-to-one support or group sessions depending on how many people have subscribed to this tier. The group or one-to-one sessions are for those people who want a little bit of extra help with their Elliot Wave education, and also give the opportunity to ask me as many questions. Please do keep in mind that these are going to be 1 hour sessions depending on how many people have subscribed, and also I would say please do consider joining. It is really good value for money, and without further ado, let's get into the analysis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, guys. Sorry I didn't upload a video last week, man. I was quite busy. A lot of family members came over and stuff like that. But you know, we all got to do what we all got to do. Let's get straight into it. But before we start, any views, opinions, or suggestions that I express in this video do not constitute to trading or financial advice. So let's get straight into it. Let's get into gold. So obviously with gold, um, gold has been on a huge rally. You know, way back in the 90s, 70s, 1960s, even before that. Um, Gold, as a lot of people know, is definitely a safe haven asset for investors that want to sort of battle against hyperinflation or inflation in general. Um, it's an asset class, so it's a commodity that has done very well and has performed extraordinarily well over the years. And you know, we've had things like gold and silver in terms of it being a medium of exchange for business transactions and stuff like that. Um, and one thing to sort of point out is that obviously with the chart that I have on screen here, you know, we can sort of identify as this being a sort of like a wave one, then we have like a nice wave two, a wave three here, a wave four, and then what we are currently is in this sort of wave five. Um, Now with this in mind, I want to analyze this wave five, and we can see that on the sort of like monthly time frame, we are getting this sort of rejection. We have a huge sort of wick rejection 3 times that are coming in, and you know, we have a nice sort of pin bar sort of push to the downside, and we could possibly see a sort of a reversal starting to kick in with gold. So let's just sort of get into it. Obviously it's a bit crowded right now, but let's just dive into it a bit more, sort of into the smaller time frames. um, so what I've said basically previously that where we are currently is this market essentially being a wave one here, and then what we have here is essentially a wave two, a wave three, a wave four, and then a wave five. And you know, I'm not saying that this count is incorrect. It could just basically mean that this sort of wave four has already been in play, and it is, and we are currently finished off this wave five, and we now essentially have an impulse move coming back down to bring this market to the downside. That's obviously one scenario. Let's just go through the count of that one first on the small time frame. Um, So I decided to, obviously I did take, there was a nice sell that came in last week. I was in that sell myself, and yeah, we did pretty well. We started to break down. But let's just go through the count here. So you know, with the sort of market in mind, you know, on the daily time frame, we are seeing that in terms of the 8 and 21 moving average, you know, we do have on the short term, long term degree that we are bearish in this market. So ideally, buying the market or buying this market is something that I don't really want to take a risk on, although it has huge upside potential with things like hyperinflation and obviously investors trying to protect their wealth and stuff like that. In terms of where we are right now, you know, we've had a huge incline, you know, since 2022 from these sort of lows that we headed during things like pandemic times and stuff like that, pre-pandemic times, and just after pandemic times as well. And obviously, this is what I'm saying, where in the monthly or in the higher time frame, this could just be it as the wave five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that completes the overall wave five. And what we are starting to see is an impulsive move to the downside to eventually kick in. Let's go on the small time frame, obviously. Let's just sort of do the count. So this is the count that I have. So I said that this is a wave one, a wave two, and then we have a one, two, three, four, and we are currently in this fifth wave, and that would essentially give us our wave three. Okay, and once this sort of wave three completes, we're then going to eventually get a wave four, and then a wave 5 down again one more time. Now once with this sort of impulsive move corrects, this would then be considered as a wave A or a wave 1. Okay, and then once with this fifth wave completes, or this impulsive wave completes entirely, we then will get three waves up again, hitting around 50 to 61.8% before we then see a sell-off coming back in again, and that will be a wave 2, or that will also be considered as a wave B. um, if the sort of market moves as an A, B, C fashion, and we do get a nice 61.8% or 50% rejection of this entire wave, then this will be considered as a wave 1, and then a wave 2, and then we'll go up again one more time as a wave 3, 4, 5, to then eventually complete our fifth wave sort of degree in the higher time frame, on the monthly time frame, etc., etc. If the market eventually does keep pushing down and we start to go sort of close towards these levels, and the 61.8 is definitely not holding up, the 78.6 is not holding up, then this is a clear huge impulsive move, and this is basically is going to be reversing towards the downside. um, you know as of now, in terms of this market, what would I say? I would say look for the shorts. They're sort of more lenient, more sort of, they're better in terms of the short term, long term degree. And how I will trade it. Well, obviously, I did take a short. It was during Friday, so it's pretty much the market volatility is kind of down. I know we had NFP, but I don't really like holding my trades that much over the weekend. I don't. It's not. I'm not saying that I don't do it, but I just wanted to take a little small scalp here. And I got literally just got in and got out around here. So you know, the way I'm gonna look for this trade right now, I'll probably think that the best thing to do is wait for this to sort of play out. If the market does eventually come here, then that's basically wave 3 complete, and what we're going to see is a wave 4 to eventually come in. Now when wave 4 kicks in, this is going to be a huge correction. This is the bigger wave 4, so I'm expecting this to be a huge correction. But for those scalpers out there, just wait for any sort of movement to the upside, any small correction, 3 wave correction, then just look to sell it, and just be careful around this level right here. Once this wave 4 completes, we're not going to be trading this wave 4. This is where all the people get trapped in. We're going to be patient and let the market just do its thing. And once this wave 4 is sort of about to complete, we'll then take another short again on this fifth wave right here. So that's the way I'm going to be playing this currency, or this asset class, for this week. Any small sort of 3 wave correction to the upside, just look to sell it quick time. Don't try to hold it for a long time. And once it reaches around this level, I'm pretty much done with this pair. Let this wave 4 play out and just sort of sit on my hands. So let's go on to pound dollar. So here's pound dollar. Um, Here's my annotations, and let's just go on to the sort of daily time frame. So with pound dollar, we can see here that we have a nice a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then a wave 5. And that essentially gives us our wave 1, or is that our wave A? And where we are currently right now is also moving in this ABC sort of structure, or wave 1, wave 2 structure. And this is moving quite nicely. It's the same. It's kind of like the same pattern as the gold. Any sort of setups that you get, any 3 small wave corrections to the upside, look to sell it, and so obviously target lows and lows and lows. Look to sell this market. I don't want to look to buy this market. It's definitely on the bearish side of things. Um, in terms of like the smaller time frame, like the hourly time frame, I've got this as my count. So we've got a wave 1 here, a wave 2, then we have a 1, 2, wave 3. We're getting this smaller wave 4, then a wave 5, and then that will complete our wave 3. I think wave 3 will eventually come down towards these lows right here. And once it does come down to this low and it sort of takes it out, we'll then get a smaller correction back up into that wave 4, and then we'll get one more push down to a wave 5, probably taking out these levels right here, and then that eventually will give us the trade to sort of exit. And then after it hits around these lows, I would expect sort of a 3 wave correction structure as a wave 2 or wave B, um, to eventually bring this market to the upside in 3 waves. 50, 61.8% rejection of this entire wave, and then we'll eventually see this market just push down even more for a wave C. So where we are, I'm assuming that we are in the ABC corrective pattern, because I am expecting this pair to sort of correct downwards before we get one more push up to the upside. But in terms of the bigger thing, I mean, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave complete impulse, then we're going to get a sort of deeper correction, wave 2 or wave B, to the downside. And ideally this is the 3, so we're getting sort of 3 waves here, so an A, B, C, possibly into an A, then another 3 waves up, then one more down again, and then we sort of shoot up again. if that makes sense. So we're gonna get a huge deeper correction coming in. We might eventually, in the long term, foresee of things, you might see these lows being hit and possibly come a little bit lower. But nevertheless, this market, I don't want to be looking to buy this market. I want to only be looking to sell this market. So yeah, so that's pound dollar. Here's pound yen. Um, so obviously on the monthly time frame, we are currently in this wave 5, and where we are in this wave 5, we have this wave 4 that's completed. That's what I genuinely assume, and we have a leading diagonal 1 2 3 4 5 into a wave 1. We then have an AB and a C or WXY into a wave 2, and then we have a 1 2 3 4 5 into a wave 3. And where we are currently in this phase, we're going to start to see this wave 4 eventually come into play. Um, I think for this we are probably looking to sit on my hands with this. Obviously, we are currently in this wave 4. I'm assuming that we are in this wave 4, and then once this wave 4 eventually completes as an A, B, C, W, X, Y, or triangle, wherever it is, we can take the last trade to the upside for the fifth wave. Obviously, be careful when trading fifth waves. Ideally, you want to target the sort of the same length as wave 1. So this basically gives us the same length, and well, not just that, we are quite, we are extremely bullish in terms of the long-term foresee of things. And if this is the last fifth wave to play, we're going to see a huge move to the downside. That can sort of bring us loads of pips. So I would say for the meantime, just wait patiently with this pair. We might start to see the wave 4 coming in, and we can then sort of take one more advantage of that wave 5. And once this wave 5 completes, a huge sell to the downside should hopefully initiate. So I hope you guys do like my video. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. I do have a Patreon for all those people that are interested in mentorship. The link will be in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys on to the next one. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.